Fancy.
Hello. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. How's it going?
Going good.
Good. Me too. How was your day?
It's pretty good. I was up at 3:30 this morning, but it
Oh
doesn't
yeah, you
feel like
said
it. Yeah.
brutal.
It was bad, yeah.
Hmm.
Uh yeah, just for the chat, a little period relatability story. I got up at 3:30 and let's just say I had to it was an emergency dash to the bathroom and
Mm-hmm. A waddle.
a waddle and yep, and by the time that was all taken care of, I was awake. So, yeah, I've been up since 3:30.
Oh my gosh. Well, I don't want to
Yeah.
keep you too long then, so you can go to bed soonish.
I'm not going to bed after this, I can guarantee. I'll be
Okay,
right back
fine.
on Steam, I promise.
All right. Well, hello everybody. Hi Lily and Saltine and Alphafa and
Alfalfa.
Tori, Arugula. Hello, hello, welcome, hi. Yeah, I wanted to just talk about two topics that are kind of in the feminist news um,
Mhm.
because they're topical. They're happening right now. It's kind of important. So,
Yes,
um,
I've heard about that the gym one
mhm.
all over my timeline, but I don't really know much about it, so I'm interested to learn, but the other one I haven't heard about yet, so
Yes. Well, I've got two like
Mhm.
articles to go through about everything that's going on, but the first just a little bit of a rundown about Amy Hamm. She is a Canadian nurse from Vancouver. Oh my gosh, my little I heart J.K. Rowling. The heart didn't.
Oh, dang it.
Anyway, she paid for an I heart J.K. Rowling billboard in downtown
Oh,
Vancouver,
okay, yeah.
and
Okay, I
people,
remember this now. This was a while ago, though.
yes, a long time ago, and people lost their damn minds.
Yeah,
And there was lots of reports made about her to the BC College of Midwives and Nurses for that, as
and
well
she
as,
lost her job, right?
well, she was going to be investigated by the college. And then she was tried in like a human rights thing um, because of her transphobic actions on Twitter. Um,
Unbelievable.
yeah, but meanwhile, like her supervisor at work and all of her patients have never had a bad word to say about her or her work ever.
Of course not.
Um, right? Because she's
Because
a
being
professional.
transphobic, right, and being transphobic isn't a real thing. So
Yeah,
just because if you believe that there's a female and a male sex, it doesn't make you an evil person. I know,
right.
shocking, right?
Shocking. And so, yeah, she was put on trial for um, hate speech, for uh, yeah, just all of all of the stuff that all feminists deal with. And it lasted like a year, and then they took
Yeah,
another year to make their ruling. Their ruling
yeah.
was released last week, and she was found guilty.
Oh, great. Yeah.
Yes. So I want to share. She wrote about it, about the ruling, in the National Post. So we're gonna look at that.
Mm,
Um,
okay,
if I could
that's good.
figure out how to do this, share screen.
Yeah, so I guess I know about both these. I just didn't recognize the name at first. I'm
Yeah,
glad to get an update though. I know it's not very good news, but
yeah, it is unfortunate. Um, so yeah, Amy Hamm wrote this for the New York Post, the National Post. So she
oh
said,
yeah.
I spoke the truth about women's rights. That isn't professional misconduct. The BC College of Nurses and Midwives has ruled I am guilty.
Yeah.
Great. So, yeah, that was the billboard that she put up, that she sponsored or whatever. Extremely transphobic and evil.
Right. I mean, obviously, just saying I love, J.K. Rowling
I
is
love an author.
right, an author, right? They'll be like, "Oh, it's a dog whistle for," but you either have to say actual hate speech or not. You can't try people for just saying I heart J.K. Rowling. Like that's
Mm,
ridiculous. Yeah, for real, Pearl. Twitter crimes,
yeah.
thought crime.
Yeah. So let's find out what was said. So she writes, I have lost my case with the BC College of Nurses and Midwives. A 3 member panel found me guilty of unprofessional conduct for sharing my views on sex and gender ideology in a manner that they have ruled as, at times, discriminatory and derogatory towards transgender identified persons. Keep in mind, I would like to point out that any comments she has made has never been at work or a work event. This is
Yeah.
explicitly and only about her Twitter
And
account.
right. And I would bet money that there's nothing explicitly discriminatory and derogatory in any of her tweets. She's not calling anyone names. I can guarantee you,
Right.
you
Yeah,
know?
she's saying men aren't women, there's only two
Right.
sexes.
Right.
And like to be persecuted by what she has done in her time away from work is crazy to me.
Well, there's a whole conversation to be had too about how much leeway employers have to dig into their employees' personal
Yeah.
lives and fire them based on what they put on Facebook, Twitter, and all that
Yeah.
stuff. So I don't agree with it.
Yeah. But it's crazy.
Yeah.
So
It's
the
funny how
K
they never like fire the misogynistic and racist dudes like all
no,
over
never.
Facebook that put their full government name behind like all their
Hmm.
red pill talking points. They never go after these guys.
No.
It's always people like Amy Hamm.
Yep. Also, like just to point out, Amy Hamm is also a single mother of 2 children under 6, and
Mhm.
like she's a single mom. She's a nurse. Like, leave her alone.
It's funny.
Living
She
in
has
one of the most expensive cities in the world. Like,
yeah,
leave
it
her alone.
she has a lot of parallels with JK
Yeah,
in that way.
totally. Yep. Okay, the case, funded generously by the Justice Center for Constitutional Freedoms since it began in late 2020, opened with an investigation sparked by public complaints about my involvement in advocating for women's sex based rights and closed with more than 20 days of disciplinary hearings spread out over 2 years. I have never once had a patient complaint, and the entire case was based solely on my conduct outside of work. Nearly 1 year to the day after the hearing concluded, I received the guilty verdict on Thursday. The complaints made against me included an I Love J.K. Rowling billboard in Vancouver that I and a friend commissioned, as well as various posts I've made online. My indomitable lawyer, Lisa Bildy, has given sage advice that, in my current situation, facing a sentencing hearing for my alleged misconduct, barring an appeal to the BC Supreme Court, I must temper my words to avoid harsher punishment.
You must bend the knee.
Yeah, I can't do that.
Nope.
I have reached the summit of my tolerance for catering to the demands of gender activists and the institutional forces that they weaponize against women who speak the truth. I have had it. Go off, Queen.
Yeah.
Yeah, going after a single mom.
Yeah.
It was kind of wholesome. I mean, it's a capitalist hellscape, but like she had posted back at Christmas time how much she really wanted this one purse, but it was like crazy expensive because it was like, I don't know,
Oh,
Gucci or
is that the
Prada or
one
something.
that Rowling got her?
Yes, and then JK Rowling
Yeah.
tweeted at her,
Oh,
"It's
sorry. I always
yours."
it's Rowling. I always call her
Rowling,
Rowling.
Rowling. I don't know it. I don't know
I
what it
don't
is.
know. I think it's Rowling.
Rowling, Rowling.
I
But
think
yeah,
so.
JK tweeted at her being like, "I'll buy it for you," and I thought that was cute.
It's very cute.
Anyway, my ruling was given by a 3-person panel consisting of a former nurse, a current nurse, and one public representative with the assistance of a constitutional lawyer. The panel is not concerned with the validity of the respondents' beliefs, they wrote in their ruling. That is simply untrue, as evidenced by the very statements given in the same ruling. For my guilty verdict, the panel understands that the statement that there are only 2 sexes, male and female, is an oversimplification that does not align with current medical or biological understanding.
Wrong.
Right? What?
Wrong.
Like
The
what?
only the only arguments are ideological and put forth
Yeah.
by the activists. Actual scientists and doctors, they might toe the line in public, but none of them believe this shit. I can guarantee you.
Yeah, insane.
Yeah.
This
And
is
sorry, the existence of like intersex or
right.
disorders of development or what DIDs does not mean that we do not have two sexes.
Right. There can only be the disorders, whatever the acronym is. There
Yeah,
can
I
only
think
be
it's DID.
intersex conditions because there are two immutable sexes.
Right.
And when something is deviant from the two norms,
Hmm.
then it's an intersex condition. Like, oh my God.
Right. Exactly.
But okay, in the chat, Tori told us it's pronounced rolling. Thank you, Tori. And then
Oh, is it?
Mariama followed up, they see me rolling. They, them, hating.
They, them hating. Okay, so
Very
my
good.
first instinct was right. All right. Maybe I've just heard people call her Rowling, but all right.
Yeah, I think I say
Rolling.
Rowling all the time, but it's rolling.
Rolling.
All right,
You just gotta
so
pretend like you're British and say rolling.
yes. I have a one-word response to this: pseudoscience.
Yeah.
And later they wrote, it is discriminatory and derogatory to suggest that transgender women should not be in the same spaces as cisgender women, they concluded. No, it's not. It's just fact.
Right. These are men.
What does this mean? It means that the panel believes that to advocate for the protection of women's spaces, as is our charter protected right, is wrong, improper, and discriminatory for any regulated professional to do. That is ludicrous.
Hmm.
Women are not doing anything wrong by advocating for our own shelters, prisons, sports, and safe spaces free from males who identify as females. Full stop. Women are a distinct category, both in biology and presently in law, notwithstanding the clash of gender identity and sex in human rights legislation. I've made it clear publicly and repeatedly that I do not believe in the mind body dualism that underpins gender ideologues' claims to the existence of gender identity. One would think that I am entitled to state such a belief without being accused of discrimination. However, the panel agrees that the statements which discount a mystical belief in a gender soul are a form of discriminatory erasure as they deny the existence of transgender people.
So are we heading towards the days where if you don't believe in the
Yes.
Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit,
Yeah.
it's derogatory and
This is
discriminatory?
this like swap this
This is
out
the,
for
right. It's
discount
religion.
a mystical belief in God is a form of discrimination against Christians.
Right.
No, it's
Right.
not. I just don't believe the same thing you believe.
Hmm.
It's not discrimination to not believe in what another person believes.
Right.
That
And it's
is
not
a
discrimination to say your beliefs.
yeah. Um this is a crazy finding to me,
It is. Are they trying to encode a mystical belief in a gender soul as like law?
right?
What? This is a religion. Like it's
Statements which discount a mystical belief. So are they agreeing that it is a mystical belief then? Why would they not then say belief?
right. That's why it makes no sense. They agree that
Yeah.
statements which discount a mystical belief in a
Right.
gender soul are a form of discriminatory erasure. Like that's literally saying that atheists discriminate against Christians. It's the same type of shit.
Yep. Also, what I want to point out too, um, this always gets my goat. Deny the existence of transgender people. Literally, none of us ever are or have denied that
No.
people who identify as trans exist.
Right. Just
We
like I
are
don't deny that Christians exist. I just
right.
don't believe in your God.
We are very aware they exist and they will not let us forget it.
Mm-mm.
Like, no one is denying the existence of transgender people or Christians or Muslims. I just
Right.
deny that I believe in a God or a gender
A gender God.
or gender God, exactly.
Yeah.
There's some stuff in the chat I wanted to point out.
Yeah.
Whoops.
So, Mariama, so you agree. It's bullshit.
So the realist says, insane how we have to fight extra hard against so-called feminists for same-sex spaces. Yep.
Yeah.
And then Gabriel Carson says, they probably won't fire a religious person who believes homosexuality is a sin. You're exactly right. They wouldn't.
No. Because, as much as I disagree with that, believing it's a sin is not a crime.
Right.
It's what you do, it's how you act,
Yeah,
you
you can
know?
believe whatever the hell you want.
Right. And
It's
you can
fine.
say offensive things to people, and it's still not a crime. It's like, unless you're
Mm-hmm.
costing that person like life, limb, their
Mm-hmm.
livelihood, stuff like that, then it, edges into hate crime territory. But like if you just sit at the table and be like, I think homosexuality is a sin, I'm gonna think you're an asshole, but I'm not gonna call
Mm-hmm.
the police on you.
Yeah, and also you shouldn't be fired for your from your job for that either, right?
No,
Like,
unless you're bringing it into work all the
right.
time and ranting about it to the point where you're not doing your job and you're just proselytizing your religion all the time, then that's like a job issue. Doesn't really
Yeah.
have anything to do with that would be for anything though.
Danny
Anything.
Danny says you could go in a circle forever with this. My beliefs oppress you because your beliefs which oppress me because of my beliefs, not believing your beliefs, etc., etc.
Oh my God, I know. Just let me be free not to believe in your weird gods. Thank you.
Literally.
I pro I promise I won't say anything about your weird gods, whether it's gender or otherwise.
Yes. Oh my God. Okay, so Amy writes, my rejection of mind body dualism has not bestowed upon me, or has not bestowed
Mhm,
me with the power to erase anyone's existence, exactly, let alone an
mhm.
entire category of persons. The language of erasing the existence of anyone is as much activist nonsense as the entire concept of a gendered soul that matters more than and exists separately from one's physical body. I do not hold any other metaphysical or spiritual beliefs, and, shock and awe, that does not mean that I am phobic of, dislike, or want to strip away the rights of religious persons who hold those beliefs that I, sometimes vehemently, disagree with. It simply means I disagree.
Yep.
No
Yep.
one, living or dead, has ever had their existence dependent upon the recognition and validation of their internally held and unknowable self perception. No one, nor has anyone died ever as a result of another person's failure to recognize them as the person they would ideally like to be recognized as, whether that be their belief about their gender or any other facet of their being.
Yeah.
Um, Also, yeah, this is like it's so Tinkerbell, right? Like she needs the applause and the praise and the attention
Yeah, or
to
like Santa
exist.
Claus. You have to
Yeah.
believe. You have to believe in
Mhm.
Tinkerbell and Santa Claus.
Mhm.
That's called an external locus of control, and it's bad for your
Yes.
life. Don't do it.
Yep. So, standing up for women's rights is not transphobic. It is not wrong, it is not hateful, and it is not incumbent upon women to stand up for our rights while being polite or adopting a tone that gender activists or other persons, including professional regulators, find acceptable. From the ruling, the panel also considered it possible to respectfully advocate for sex based cisgender rights without
Mm.
making statements that denigrate and discriminate against transgender persons.
See, that's the thing, though. People like J.K. Rowling and Amy Hamm tried the whole respectful, like
Yes,
tiptoeing, pussyfooting
exactly.
thing.
Yes.
Nothing is good enough for these people. And
No,
I'm like, I would bet my whole paycheck, like I said before, that Amy did not write death to all trans people.
of
She did
course
not
not.
write anything like that, like derogatory, like these T slurs or whatever. She didn't,
Hmm.
I can
No.
bet you she didn't say anything insulting at all. They consider simply the statement that a male cannot be a woman as
Yep.
disrespectful in and of itself. So you
Yep.
could say the most milquetoast, mild-mannered statement
Yep.
like I just don't believe a male can be a woman, and
Yep.
that's it. That's enough to condemn you.
Yep. I mean, like I have many times said, and I do believe this, that people who identify as trans deserve lives free of violence. They deserve safe lives. They deserve access to healthcare and mental health care and housing and education and employment and
Sure,
happiness and safety
but we
and
all do.
right? I believe all of those. I just don't believe that a male can turn into a woman. And that is like all of the other
Right.
stuff I do believe
Sure.
doesn't matter. If I say I
Because
don't think a penis person is a woman, doesn't matter
right.
about any of the other stuff.
No, and it doesn't matter how nicely you say it or any other woman says it. It doesn't
Mm-hmm.
matter. So to even try to make nicey nice with these people is a losing battle because it's never going to be enough.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, they
Yeah.
they
Uh,
just they want special treatment. They don't just want regular basic human rights.
Great comment from Gabriel again. You could flip this around and say, do trans people really exist if it requires belief in it?
That's an
And
interesting question.
the realist followed up with, exactly. If I live out in the woods, a lesbian would, or if we lived in the woods, a lesbian would still be a lesbian, but a trans woman would still be a man without others to validate him.
Yeah, otherwise he's just playing imagination with himself, like it
Right.
playing make believe. I mean, he could believe he's a woman in the woods all day. It doesn't make it true. But that's what it's because the delusion requires others to follow
Mm-hmm.
suit. Like it's
Yep.
not enough that they are confident in themselves and they don't care what anyone thinks and they think they're a woman. They
Mm-hmm.
have to everyone has to and you know
Yeah.
what? Even the women, and it's always women who get flack for this, right? Even the women who are really polite and accepting, you see the threads on like the trans subreddits and stuff, how these these Tims will be like, she says that I'm a woman and that she accepts me, but I can tell deep
Right.
down inside that she
Right.
doesn't really think she's just being nice. And it's
Yeah.
like, what do you want her to do? What can she do? She's already saying the things in the tone of voice you want. She's making space for you. She's
Mm-hmm.
basically seceding and being like, yeah, yeah, girl, you're totally valid and I support
Yep.
you and all that,
Yep.
all the things, but it
Yep.
doesn't matter.
It reminds me of, ugh, not to name drop Matt Walsh, but I did see a clip of him at a university speaking, and a Tim was in the audience, like challenging him. And Matt Walsh asked this guy, like, "How do you know you're a woman?" Because he's a man. And the
Right.
Tim was like, "All of the women around me tell me I am." It's like,
Uh,
and Matt Walsh said something to the effect of like, if any of my friends in my life came to me and said, Matt, you're such a man, you're totally a man, I would think they were insane.
right. That's
Because
very strange.
yeah, I don't, and just like the comment I have highlighted here from the realist, like same thing, like I don't need anyone to tell me I'm a woman, or I don't also need anyone to believe that I'm a lesbian, because
Right,
I just
right.
am. I don't need
Nuh-uh.
to be
No, no, you're not.
validated. I don't need anyone to tell me any of those things because I am those
Right.
things.
I've had
But
people tell me I'm all kinds of things or not things, and it's like, oh, okay.
hmm
But it reality is what it is. You can think whatever you want.
yeah, but like if you need somebody to play along or tell you to your face, it's like how real really is it then?
It's not real. They
Yeah.
know it's a delusion. That's why they get so upset when people or they perceive that people aren't playing along
Yeah.
because it knocks down the house of cards in their
Yep.
mind. It's not
Yep. Yep.
enough
Yep.
that they are perfectly confident in what they think they are or believe they are or whatever.
Oh, this is great from Arugula. Nobody tells me I'm a woman. They treat me like one, though. I wonder why that is, because anyone with eyeballs
Right.
can see that we are women.
Right.
And that's how it goes in a patriarchal, misogynist hellscape.
Yeah. It's like the comment I left on your community post today.
Oh, yeah. What did you
Uh,
say?
I said like despite the TIFFs like trying to be a man, they're still treated like women in their own movement.
Right. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Let me find it exactly.
And it's funny, it never seems to ping to them because you do see TIFFs complaining online that they're talked over.
Mm-hmm.
They're still like now they're told that they have male privilege and to shut up
Mm-hmm.
when it's all because they're female and nobody wants
Yeah.
to hear anything coming out of their mouths. It's the same as before.
Right.
They just have new
Extra steps.
cudgels. Yeah, they have gotten like new cudgels to beat them with. Like,
Yep.
oh well, now you're a man, so you have male privilege. Like, okay,
Yep.
no,
Yep.
you're
Yep.
just
Yep.
telling them to shut up because they're girls. Like, let's just be real.
Great
Yeah,
comment
they do. I
from Danny.
really think they do.
Yeah, part of it certainly is like making everyone play along.
Yeah, and that's actually a big part of the fetish component too.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because a lot of the fetish stuff, and this isn't just like this is like fetishes all across the board, right? It's not just like trans men or whatever, or trans identified males. Um, the infliction of and the making people like dance to your tune is part of the appeal. Like they want to shock, they want to make
Yes.
you bend to it, they want to
Yes.
make you accept it, they want to get you talking about it. Like it's a common tactic online for a man to message somebody asking quote innocent questions, but the
Uh-huh.
whole point is for them to get you to talk about whatever is turning their crank, right? Whatever their
Yeah.
fetish is. And they'll couch it in like innocent questions or comments, or
Mm-hmm.
they'll make a fake post about their fetish and they get off on all the comments like talking about it and debating it. It's so common. Like that's part of the appeal. They want they like the fact that they think they're duping people.
Yep. Yep.
Got a lot of people here today.
I know. Hello. How do I hide the... Okay, here we go.
Yes,
Okay, let's...
Alex, are Coomer to Tea pipeline for sure. Yeah, they're all almost all like that. I swear to
Yep.
God.
Okay, so Amy says, not only do I reject the tone policing nature of that statement, but the assertion blatantly contradicts their earlier one, which said that it is discriminatory to merely suggest that women deserve sex segregated spaces at all. How could I have possibly won this case considering this? It would have been impossible. No tone, no word choice, and no self-flagellation or obedience would have sufficed, because I have been censured and accused of discrimination for the very act of advocating for women's spaces. Just like we were
Exactly.
saying, no tone, no
Hmm.
word choice, no amount
Right.
of, like, nothing is good enough except for complete and utter, what,
Right.
bowing down, what's the word I'm looking for, capitulation.
Yes. Yeah, she would have to take back her statement that not only does she think the female sex is real, but that women are female and deserve their own spaces. And
Yep.
that is like literally opposite of her entire
Yep.
argument, right? Like nothing short of that would
Uh-huh.
suffice. And I think even now, even if she did do that, it still wouldn't suffice because she committed wrongthink.
Exactly. Exactly. I am profoundly sorry for all regulated professionals in Canada who will be discouraged from exercising their right to free expression because of this ruling. The JCCF and my legal team, all brilliant and principled, are blameless in this verdict. Our country has been on a dark path towards censorship and illiberalism for many years, and this case and ruling are but a symptom of the disease. I do not yet know what the next legal steps are in this case, but I do know that I am not done fighting. From the panel, the respondent undermined the reputation and integrity of the nursing profession. I could not disagree more.
How?
How have I brought ill repute upon my profession, where the official and presently enforced doctrine asserts that trans women are women and pseudoscience is science? I stand proudly in the defense of the truth, and I lament and denounce a profession that has been subverted by a quasi religious, metaphysical belief system that infringes upon the rights of women and girls and harms youth. My conscience does not permit me to lie or lie down in the face of gender ideology. Punish me harder if you must. The truth always wins in the end.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. So we don't officially know what's going to happen to Amy with the College of Nurses. I imagine she'll either have to capitulate to re-education or
Yeah,
lose
good
her
luck with
job.
that.
Yeah.
Well, lose her, like, honestly, I don't know. I feel like I want a career change anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I
After
can not imagine not being totally sick of this shit.
right. And no matter where she goes, it's all been compromised.
Yeah. Well, and what also frustrates me, because like this is in Canada, we are struggling hard for nurses right now.
Yeah, I think
And
I think
here,
America is too.
yeah, everywhere is. But here is a very competent and dedicated nurse,
Yep.
and she's likely going to be fired because she thinks that no woman has a penis.
Right. Right. That females exist.
Yeah.
Uh, yes,
Hmm.
exactly. But apparently that's no longer the case.
Yeah.
Um, there's no such, I hate to break it to Alia, but there's no such thing as female. Okay. We exist on a spectrum of gender.
Yep. So yeah, that's the Amy Hamm update. Now,
Are there any
uh,
comments on this article?
um, yes, I'm sure there are, but this is on the. I'll have to actually open the because this is
Oh,
on like
that's
the
right.
archive
That's
thing.
right.
But that's fine.
You've got archive.
Can still open
It's
it
I
on
always
the.
think it's funny because every time you go to a comment section about this subject, most of them are not having this BS.
Oh, I think you must be logged in.
Oh, yeah, never mind. It's okay.
How rude. I don't.
I
I
was
don't have a login. I'm
I was
sorry.
just
Yeah, no,
curious.
it
It's
would be nice
okay.
to see them, but
Yep.
I don't think I can see them on the archive page. Jeez, I leave me and my ad blocker alone. God.
I have an ad blocker too. I always get the pop-up.
Yeah.
I like how they're passive aggressive too because they have a
Yeah.
little option that says continue without supporting us.
I know.
Like they're trying to make you feel bad. I'm like, huh, joke's on you. I don't feel bad.
Yeah. Exactly. Okay. Let's see here. Now, how do I go back to my slides? Oh, hello. There's you.
Oh, hey.
Sorry.
I'm like, I got my nose in the chat.
That's okay. I'm still figuring out the kinks on working Restream. Um, okay. So our next little topic is Natalie Barnett. So she is a fitness influencer in the UK. She owns the Girls Spot gym in the UK. And recently, she made a public declaration that the Girls Spot will be female only, and trans identified males will not be permitted to become members. So, a little her story is a few years ago, she was tweeting and stuff about wanting to start a women's only gym and have it be more than just a gym for working out, but like a place where women can come for nutrition and fitness advice specifically to women's bodies, women's menstrual cycles, um, self defense classes, um, menstruation education, that kind of thing, like all kinds of stuff, not just a gym.
Hmm.
And so recently she put out a statement, maybe a few
Hmm.
last week or something, that after years of working towards opening this gym and planning and talking to women and whatever, she has come to the decision that she is going to that the gym is going to be female only and trans she uses the word trans women will not be permitted to be members.
Huh.
She said this is also because she knows so many women have been harassed in gyms, even assaulted in gyms. She wants
Yep.
this to be a space that is completely safe emotionally, mentally, physically for women. And so with that said, trans women will not be permitted. Of course, you can imagine what happened. People freaked the fuck
A
off.
shitstorm happened. Mariama has
Yeah.
an interesting comment. She says, I'm so glad Black women are waking up from the trans nonsense, but honestly, for me, Black women on YouTube were some of my introductory content to the whole gender critical type thing.
Mm,
It was Black women that were like, nah, we're not having any of this. These are men,
yeah.
and as like back then, as like a white lib fam, I was like, "Ooh, this
Yeah.
isn't like," but these women were, liberal in every other way. They're not accepting that men can or women can have penises or anything like that.
Yeah.
They were like, that's ridiculous. Women are women. Like,
Hmm.
so I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't
And
know
in
if there's
her,
like a contingent that's like all up trans women's asses or whatever, but as far as my experience goes, it's usually the Black women that are like not having it.
yeah. Well, yeah. And she also talked about how Yeah, she mentioned specifically that, in talks with women and trans women and blah, 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 she's come to the conclusion that she won't be allowing them. Like,
I
after,
like that sneaky, right? Like
I
talks to
know.
trans women. She listened. She listened to trans women. Okay, they
She
tell us to
listened to trans
listen.
women. Yep.
Yeah.
And then Tori mentioned she also talked about being sexually assaulted in a gym and people are still coming for her. Yeah, nobody cares because a woman's place is shutting the fuck up.
Yeah, and our lot is to be raped and sexually assaulted anyway.
Yeah.
So many men think it's not even a big deal.
Hmm.
Yeah,
I
it would
feel
have.
like this would have been normal thing to do 15, 20 years ago. And that's just the thing, is like this trans craziness has taken off so rapidly. Like
Yeah.
15, 20 years ago, nobody would have batted an eye at a women's only gym.
Nope. I mean, they still probably would have gotten harassed as a bunch of hairy man-hating feminists or whatever, but it wouldn't have been this gender identity outcry or anything like that.
Yeah.
It'd have been like, oh, it's just oh, what is it, like a lesbian gym? Are you all hairy? Blah, blah,
Right.
blah. Feminazis, all that crap. Because that did happen back in the day. But they were still like, there were still women only gyms, though. Like the bros could cry about it.
Nena's Tumblr username is I listened to trans women.
That's right. I think she has mentioned that before, and I love that.
Whoops.
Yep.
Nena's currently at work. Go to work.
She's busy with her shit job.
Yes.
Yeah,
But
so
you'll be
many
out
of
of
us
there
have
soon,
them.
Nena.
Yeah, what time is it over where she's at? You still in
Morning.
Japan, Nana?
It's like 10 a.m.
Did she get out of Japan yet? I know.
She will be going to Australia eventually.
Yeah, I know that she was talking about that a while ago, but I wasn't sure if they had done it.
Thanks, Lee. That's very nice.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they're men. Thanks, Lee.
Okay, so let's go on to talk about now Natalie. Whoops, Natalie. There's a
Mm-hmm.
little article I have about her too.
Nana says she is still in Japan. I'm sorry. Hopefully soon you can fly free.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let me do this. Okay, so
Yeah.
female gym owner attacked online for banning trans women. Activists criticized fitness influencer for following about turnover membership rules because originally she did say that trans women would be permitted, but this was years ago.
Hmm.
Okay, so a female gym owner has been attacked online by trans activists for banning transgender women from her new venue. Natalie Barnett, the founder of the Girls Spot Gym, was heavily criticized on social media after stating that her establishment would not be open to trans women who are born male but now identify as female. That's the only kind of trans woman there is.
Right.
Trans women who were born male.
Right. What other kind are we talking about here? Okay.
Ahead of her gym's launch in Wandsworth, southwest London, Miss Barnett posted a video on social media explaining it would be a single sex space for biological women. The 25-year-old, she's only 25. Like, give her a break.
Such a baby. And good for
Yeah,
her. Like at such a young age. Like look at her building her empire,
I know.
following
Good
her
for her.
dreams.
Black woman owned
Also,
business.
yeah, also she's so fit. Like those are goals right there. I saw that
Hmm.
picture and I was like, damn.
Yep. So,
That's what I want to look like in the gym.
so the 25-year-old, who is also a fitness influencer with nearly 70 million TikTok followers, Jesus, has been
Yeah.
raising funds for her female-only gym since 2021 and had initially indicated it would be open to trans women. But in a video posted at the weekend, she clarified that in the past 4 years, she had decided that female safety meant only allowing biological women to become members. That's the only kind of woman there is.
Oh,
Miss Bart,
it's interesting. Sorry to interrupt you,
no,
but
no,
interesting how she initially allowed them, but in the past 4 years, she decided not to allow them. One has to wonder what kind of experiences she had in those 4 years,
right. Yeah.
or the women coming to her. what kind of experiences they had to make her make that decision. Because
Mm-hmm.
if these poor trans women were perfectly unproblematic and totally fine, there would never, like, why would you change your mind on that then?
Right, exactly.
Interesting, right?
Interesting. So, Miss Barnett said women applying to join her gym had faced some level of gym intimidation or sexual violence and assault that has been perpetrated by men. The about turn has prompted a backlash from trans activists, with some claiming the policy could fall foul of equality laws, while others have demanded refunds for donors who expected it to be a trans inclusive gym. But the thing is, every fucking gym ever out there is trans inclusive.
Yeah,
Because it's mixed sex, it's co ed.
right,
Every fucking Planet Fitness, Orange Theory, YMCA, whatever the hell, they're all trans inclusive. Go to
right.
literally any one of those. There's 4 on every block. Like,
There are. And like Salad Caesar said up chat, make your T only gym. Like make a
right,
transgender only gym
right.
then.
God, it drives me crazy when they fucking whine about this shit. Whether it's shelters or gyms or whatever the hell, fucking knitting
Right.
club, I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
Make your
No, it's true
own.
though. They
Women
do
had to make our
complain.
own. We had to
We,
fight for shelters, for bathrooms. We
yeah, we
had to
did.
fight. Like, oh, you do the work too.
Yeah,
Also, I'll fucking
exactly.
support you.
And it's very funny that men expect women to do the work for them, and because trans women are men, they also expect women to do the work for them.
Yeah,
Let them into our spaces rather than them actually making their own.
yeah,
Yeah, she really did listen.
yeah.
Yeah, she did. Um, Lee commented that she identifies as an
I
AFAB
saw
trans
that.
woman, just like that meme of Kokomi, the AFAB trans woman.
Yes.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right. Gabriel says, also, if it's female only, a TIFF could join, and therefore it's not trans exclusive.
Oh yeah, I
Correct.
mean, we always make that point anyway because they're female, right? So
Yes.
doesn't matter if they identify as a dude.
Ugh, I'm
They
getting heated.
Yeah, because none of this shit makes any sense.
Hmm.
It's like we discussed in the previous article, it's a religious belief. It's doctrine, it's not reality.
Perfect
Yeah,
comment from Arugula. Perfect comment.
yes, exactly. And feminists have pointed this out for years. They don't want their own spaces. They want the validation of being included in the woman space.
Uh-huh. And the
Because
decimation of women's spaces.
right, because they have the option of like third spaces for themselves.
Yep.
And you'd think if cis were such scum or whatever that they wouldn't
Hmm.
even want to mingle, but no, they want to destroy, take over, just like men, regular garden variety men want to like come in, infiltrate like women's only and feminist subs and spaces and stuff like that. Like
Yep.
it's like a drive. I think
They can't allow women to congregate or conversate
right.
unsupervised and unchaperoned.
Unsupervised. Exactly. They need to know what we're talking about and they need to have power to moderate and correct and do all that stuff. Lord it over or, pontificate at us all day.
Yep. Onikio says, I always find that women always have to cater to everyone else except themselves. Otherwise, they get criticized as being discriminatory.
This is such a bugbear for me. I fucking hate the expectation that we have to be activism nannies for every cause.
Mm-hmm.
Like, get the fuck
Mm-hmm.
out of here. With look, I don't care like if you're vegan or like uh, any other number of social issues, right? Feminism is feminism.
Yes.
Like there's people out there that's like, well, you can't be feminist if you're not um, anarchist and vegan and this and that and donating to PETA and you got to do all these other like no, feminism is a specific cause. The
Yep.
other things are the other things. I mean, go be those other things if you want, but it's not feminism's responsibility to activism nanny and do all the jobs and advocate for all the causes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because yeah, exactly, and blatant female, because we're the servants. Like we have to like
Yep.
clean up everybody's mess.
Yep. Yeah,
Just
expired milk. Hello says I can't
oh
place when
hey.
it was that a woman only gathering became synonymous with bigotry, but it definitely wasn't that way in 2010. No, around
Mm,
2014,
15.
2015
Yeah.
ish.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. All right, let's see what else. So
It's like
Dr.
we can
Shola,
never escape being maids. I'm sorry.
correct. No, 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 please go.
I'm a little salty tonight.
Yeah, me too. I'm hyped. So, Dr. Shola Moshogbamimu, an activist and lawyer, responded that trans women also face harassment and said the membership policy might be hard to enforce. She asked, how will you police it to identify biological women? If you are excluding medically transitioned trans women, would you let in trans men because of their biological sex?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. They're female. What about
Yeah.
this? Don't you understand?
And also, how will you police it to identify biological women? With my eyeballs and
Right.
my ears.
99% of the time, you can tell that that's a dude.
Yep.
Listen, if there's some weird 1% unicorn there who passes 100% and no woman there knows, and he never causes an issue and he never says boo and nobody says boo to him, okay, I guess. Like, nobody is suggesting that we pull people's pants down and check, okay? It's
No.
but 99% of the time, you're going to look at the guy and you're
Right.
going to see it.
And also, the 1% mystical unicorn is not trying to go to this gym because,
That's true.
right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
oh, look at this.
Shh.
Throw
John
them
to
all in the
Emily
chat.
transition blog.
But
Oh
like,
my
yeah, the
god.
1% mystical unicorn who does never, ever, ever, ever get clocked, which I find hard to believe, but say that unicorn exists. They're
Yeah.
not trying to go to this gym. They're not trying to go, like they're just honestly probably living their life stealthily and like not giving a shit. But the
Yeah,
people,
because coming into women's spaces is basically a straight dude type of thing. And the
yeah,
vast majority of these trans women are
yeah,
just straight coomer dudes. Like
of
that's
course.
what they are, you know. Is that guy lost, by the way?
Must be. But yeah, anyway, so this doctor continues, I don't think medically transitioned trans women should be excluded, and definitely trans men who have medically transitioned should be excluded like other men. The thing is, though, is medically transition, a woman does not need to do any kind of medical transition to be a woman.
Right.
So if they do, they ain't a woman.
Right.
Like,
By definition,
yeah.
you don't you're you know, we don't I don't
Oh,
have to transition into anything. I simply am one. So,
can I deal with this?
oh yeah, do you want me to deal with it?
That's okay. I did right now.
It's kind of funny. This person's lost.
Yeah. Um. Okay. India Willoughby. Oh God, that dude.
I know. Said the most disgusting shit. Like, why does
Yes,
anybody listen to this guy?
I know. A transgender broadcaster also weighed in, suggesting that any women who look trans risk being subject to an undie inspection at Miss Barnett's gym. But like
Nobody's doing that, first of
nobody's doing
all.
that, and also like
Also,
women
if you
don't
look
look
like
trans,
they look like dudes because they are. You
right?
look like a guy and you try to come into her gym, go to Planet Fitness.
Right.
Like,
All
what the
of
fuck?
the and like the most masculine looking butch dyke, like you can still know that that's a woman.
Yeah,
Come on.
right.
Ugh.
Yeah. The only people who've ever had trouble telling that are men
Yeah, exactly.
because they look for feminine markers. They don't look for the female sex.
Yeah.
And I've told this story on stream before, but like I used to have a job where we would deal with the public, and it was always my male coworkers when somebody really butch came in and he'd whisper to me and he'd be like, I don't, is that a man or a woman? I'm like, are you fucking blind? That's a woman. No. It's not. I'm like, that, I'm like, what? Just because she's butch or like doesn't have long hair and wearing dresses and makeup and stuff, like it's clearly a
Hmm.
woman. Come on. Of
Yep.
course. And then of course she comes closer and it's very obvious and her voice is a woman's voice and then he's like, "Oh, really couldn't tell." I'm like, "You're an idiot."
Yeah. So, in a video uploaded to TikTok in 2021, when she was fundraising for the business on GoFundMe, Miss Barnett said, "You guys are hearing it first. Of course, trans women are welcome at my women only gym. I don't see trans women as trans women. I see trans women as women. And if you identify as a woman, then you are, of course, welcome."
So saith the woman who had not experience with dealing with actual trans
Yeah.
women. And it's very interesting. I would love to speak to her about what happened in those 4 years.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, like,
Me
that's
too.
her statement in 2021, right?
Yeah.
Because she probably had no idea what
Right,
she
of
was.
course. And she was being a good ally, right? Like,
Right, exactly, and of course, she's young now, and she was even younger
hmm,
then, so she's
yeah,
yeah,
21 then.
right, so she probably didn't have a lot of real world experience, she's trying to be good, she'd obviously, you know, most of us are liberal, and we want to, you know, treat everyone with the same human rights, but men are not women, so
Men are not women.
yeah, Onikyo, it's not hard to tell. It just blows my mind every time. And it's never another woman that has trouble telling. It's a man. And they see these the butch aunties or whatever and they're totally like lost. They don't know what to think. They're like, "Oh, I don't know what that is." I'm like, "Oh, swear to God."
Sidebar, but I just looked at the YouTube account of our friend John.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Oh man, is it an AGP to the extreme?
yeah, I'm sure because that's what they are.
Yes.
It's they get their rocks off like that. Like that gives them their kicks. So like let's stop pretending that this is some kind of deep, it's a religion like in nature, but let's not pretend that this is some kind of deep philosophical or religious thing. It's
Yeah.
most of the time it's what turns their crank and that's all it is. And they get their little thrill, their little exhibitionist, kinky, fetishy thrill from like going in and making people
Hmm.
obey and making people bow down. And that's all there is to it. And making people, oh, let's talk about it and think about it. Like, are you thinking about my body and all this stuff? Like, it's really weird. Okay.
Oh my
I'm
god.
seeing it online so many times. They post pictures like, "Do I am I welcome here? Am I welcome here? Are you all
Uh-huh.
are you all thinking about me yet?"
He's posting all about his lingerie.
Yeah, of course. None of this surprises me. I didn't go there, but like you're saying this and I'm like, "Yeah, well, yeah."
Yeah, duh.
Yeah, right. Like
Oy.
it, it's like a bingo card. You can get a bingo.
Literally. Literally.
Yeah.
Okay, so the gym will be a safe space. However, in the new video, the entrepreneur said her stance had evolved. Miss Barnett admitted she initially hadn't thought out the vision or what it would entail, but had since had a great deal of time to figure that out. She clarified, "The Girls Spot Gym exists as a safe space for women because women are facing gym harassment, sexual assault, and sexual violence inside of gyms. And I know that because I'm a victim of it. So the meaning of the Girls Spot Gym is now entirely different."
Good.
Miss Barnett said the gym would focus on self defense classes and workshops around the menstrual cycle and polycystic ovary syndrome, a hormonal condition affecting women. She added, "The majority of women who are seeking my women only gym, the Girls Spot, are coming here because they have faced some level of gym intimidation or sexual violence and assault that has been perpetrated by men."
Hmm?
So, as the owner of the gym, it is very important to make it clear how my women's only gym will be operating, and it'll be operating as a single sex space for biological women. Miss Barnett said everyone deserved a safe space to exercise and noted that some gyms had introduced mixed sex changing rooms to be more inclusive of trans people. However, she insisted it was imperative to uphold the Girl Spot's mission to ensure women felt safe.
That's crazy. Listen, trans or no trans, I am not going to a gym with a mixed sex changing room at all.
Yeah, I before I discovered that my gym actually does have a female only, I thought there was only the mixed sex ones or
Right.
the super premium ones you have to pay for. And
Yep.
it was like I thankfully never saw a naked man, but there were definitely men in there and it was always so and like literally nothing happened at all. But
Yeah.
just the idea that like there is a man right there like I'm changing in this little stall and there's literally men right outside the door at the lockers. Like
Yeah. I don't
so
care what they're doing or
no.
not doing. I don't want to be in a changing room or a shower with a bunch of dudes. I just don't.
Right.
And I'm not even like, I'm not speaking from like I've been pretty lucky, right? I've never been assaulted or anything like that.
Mhm.
But still, it has nothing to do with that. I don't want
Correct.
that. Like,
Yeah, it seems like they often will go um like what am I trying to say? Like the only reason a woman could be against it or upset by it is
mhm.
if she has a history of assault. And
Yeah,
it's like
it's the "who hurt you" argument. Well, it
exactly.
doesn't nobody had to have hurt me. I just don't like the idea. I just don't. Go in
Right.
your own space. It's weird enough being naked in front of other women, but there's
Yeah.
not that threat of like that undercurrent of you just never know
Mhm.
who these guys are. You never know until
Mhm.
something happens. And
Yep.
I don't care if the odds are infinitesimal. I don't want some dude like leering at anyone in my changing room. Like,
Yeah.
no,
And, leering at best, right?
at
It,
best, yeah.
it could be so
I
much worse.
It could be so much worse. Like you're in there late at night or early in the morning. There's not a lot of people there. Suddenly you're alone and naked with some guy in the mixed sex changing room. And you don't have to have been traumatized to have a problem with it. Yeah,
Yep.
we should just say no. Like, no.
Yep. Yep.
Right. They do take pictures of their boners because
Yes.
that's what they get a thrill out of. And I'm
Yeah.
tired of pretending that they don't. And I don't care if it's not all of them. Y'all
Mhm.
are banned, okay? Get
Yeah.
out.
And the picture thing made me think of where is it? Where is that comment? Oh yeah, here by the realist. It made me think about like, they take pictures because it's like pornographic evidence to them of what they've done. It's like it's the same. I mean, it's not the same, but it's
Mhm.
on the spectrum of men who take photos of them committing assaults, committing photos of themselves committing assaults.
Yeah,
Like they're
yeah. It's for
um
it's for the spank bank later.
yeah,
It's to make a photo
it's
collage.
to relive it
Right.
later.
Exactly.
Ugh.
It's a souvenir of their transgressions or whatnot.
Yeah, yes,
So,
exactly. Exactly. It's a souvenir for later.
yeah.
Ugh.
And that's a very male thing to do.
Yes.
Serial killers like to take little trophies and souvenirs.
You and Lee.
Yeah, exactly. See? Great minds, right?
Exactly. Yeah, they just want to pee. But first, let me take a selfie.
Yeah, with a chubby.
Ugh. Ugh.
You know, nothing untoward about this at all.
John to Emily is back.
Oh my god.
Welcome back, John.
Yeah, welcome back.
Hello, sir. Oh my god, that actually really cracked me up.
That's pretty funny.
um, okay, great comment
Mhm.
or question from Inukio. Why do people constantly forget trans women were socialized as men, so therefore still have a lot of misogyny and male entitlement to unpack? And the answer is they believe that they were not socialized as men because they're not and never have been men. Therefore, any
Right.
societal socialization or conditioning would not apply because they are actually and have always been girls and women. So
Which
they
is
like, I've
fucking
heard,
bullshit.
yeah,
I've also heard that, well, maybe I was socialized as a boy, but it's transphobic to point it out because they were denying my very nature because I've always been a girl.
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
it doesn't, yeah, yeah. They were social. A lot of these guys were also adult men for a good many years too.
Uh-huh.
I mean, there's the classic like Bruce Jenner story where the man has like a whole ass family with
Yeah, like
adult
6
children.
kids.
Right. A long and storied career in like the military or some IT professional, and then he comes out in his 50s as transgender or whatnot. So like be for fucking real. Are you kidding me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So much of this stuff would be more palatable if they would just acknowledge reality, but they don't. They want us
Mhm.
to just affirm their delusions. Like, you're not going to convince me you were socialized as a girl and know anything about what it's like to be a girl,
Yeah.
or make me believe that you somehow weren't, or that you were special from the other boys because somehow magically you were like a girl, so the socialization just didn't hit the same way. Like, that's fucking horseshit.
Yep.
They know it, and we know it.
Um, Tori's comment here, uh, wild how they can just divest themselves of their male privilege and socialization with just their words, and people really believe it. That reminds me
Yeah.
of a quote from a former YouTuber who I wish she didn't hadn't deleted her channel. Her channel was called Sari's Revenge,
Oh, I
and
never had the pleasure of seeing her.
she was like a turf YouTuber. Um, I wonder if I can even find it because I know I have the quote, but she said something very similar to what Tori is saying here. I might have it, but anyway, I'm going to paraphrase it. But basically, it was something like, um, transition allows men to abscond their privilege without taking any responsibility for it, or something like that.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, it's how men operate towards women too, right? They want to say the things, they say words, but their actions say otherwise.
Yes.
It's the old classic like, "Oh baby, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry," but then he continues to abuse her in his actions, right? It's the same type of shit. It's like,
Ah,
"Oh no." Oh, did you find it?
I did. The quote was that she said, "The trans movement is a way for men to retain male privilege while abdicating any responsibility for it."
Yeah, but
Yeah.
this is just a male thing. Like, men of all stripes seek to do this.
Yeah, of course.
It's a big reason why the whole not all men thing is big too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, but not me. I didn't. Yeah.
Enlightened female just sent a DM on Discord.
Oh, she did.
A screenshot of the chat because she's a mod, and it shows that that person was banned for 86,000 seconds.
Nice.
That's funny though,
You.
86,000 seconds.
Oh, your mic is like cutting in
Oh
and out.
no. Can you hear me?
Oh, it's better. It's better now.
Oh, weird. All
Yeah.
good?
It was like, yeah, good
Okay, good.
now. I don't know what was happening, but
Weird.
I gotta see. Ah, there it is. 86,000 seconds.
It's funny. Okay, so owner is well within the legal rights. So Fiona McKenna, director of campaigns at human rights charity Sex Matters, told the Telegraph that Miss Barnett was well within her legal rights to admit only biological women to her gym. What they really mean is only women. Wait. The
Mhm.
phrase
Yeah.
biological woman is just an insane oxymoron. Like,
Well, it's redundant as hell.
right, that's what I mean. It's like, how are we at this hate? Like, how are we at this place where the phrase biological woman is like in our daily lexicon? Like, It's so crazy. So
Yeah,
crazy.
biological woman, as though there's any other kind.
Right. Right. So there are thousands of gyms in the country, almost all born open to both sexes, like I said. It's very telling that there's
Right.
so much vitriol aimed at one woman running one small gym just because she wants a male-free space.
Yeah.
This type
It's
of
like I've said
situation,
about Reddit and stuff.
yeah.
Oh, sorry. Like,
No, no, no.
no matter how small, like the space, if it's for women only or lesbians only,
Yeah,
even if it's a tiny, teeny little sub, eventually it'll get found and all the forces of hellfire will rain down upon it.
yeah.
Even though the whole rest of the internet is all for these people, it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
If there's one little tiny enclave that exists,
Yes.
they will rain fucking wrath down upon it.
Yeah. Oh my God. Lee said,
My
imagine
bio
if transracialist said biological black person.
right, it's the
Oh,
same thing, like, it doesn't have
right.
any meaning, like, what the fuck?
Right. Oh my God.
Mhm,
So, this type of situation is exactly what the single sex exceptions on the Equality Act are for. Keep in mind, this is in the UK. The gym
mm,
owner is well within her legal rights to state that the girls' spot is only open to female members. In response to criticism online, let me hide this. Miss Barnett issued a further statement stressing that her decision was made to ensure her customers felt at ease. She said, the decision to have the girls' space as a single sex gym for those biologically female was not an easy decision and something that I thought over for many years. I spent a great deal of time and money, including seeking legal advice, and it was absolutely not a choice made lightly or out of exclusion or malice, but rather out of my commitment to ensuring a space where women who have experienced trauma, harassment, or discomfort in co ed gyms can feel at ease.
mhm.
The um, non black facing person. Oh, God.
Oh my god, yeah.
The row comes amid several legal challenges by nurses against NHS policies which allow trans staff to use women's changing rooms. Although UK workplace
Mhm,
regulations require employers to provide separate changing rooms for men and women for reasons of propriety, some NHS trusts permit trans staff to access female facilities. You know what is so funny to me is that it's always permitting trans staff to access female facilities. It's never permitting trans men to access male facilities.
no.
It's always this.
I wonder
I wonder
why.
why.
Hmm.
Yep.
Give me an A, give me a G, give me a P.
Right. So Sandy Peggy, an A&E nurse, A&E is like UK's emergency room,
Mhm.
is suing NHS Fife after being suspended for complaining about trans Dr. Beth Upton using a woman's changing room at her workplace. The tribunal will resume in July. In Darlington, nurses are taking legal action against County Durham and Darlington NHS Foundation Trust for sexual harassment and discrimination after being forced to share a changing room with a trans colleague who identifies as a woman.
Ooh, 575 comments.
I'm going to have to try to find the actual article.
Yes.
Let's see if I can, unless it's behind a paywall. I'll see.
Oh, it might be. It's the Telegraph.
Let's see. Uh huh. Have to
Shit!
sign up. Sorry.
Damn it.
I know. So rude.
I wanted to hear from the people.
I know.
Yeah.
Nope. Crazy. But yeah, those are the two news stories I wanted to mention today. And the
Yeah.
world is crazy.
Yeah, it is. Oh, Ice Goddess, don't get me started about that uterus owners thing. They never direct that kind of language toward men. It's I inherited a uterus from my grandma. I have an heirloom uterus, okay? No, the
Rehoming my
term
uterus. Anyone want?
oh my god. Don't say that. You'll get men
Yeah.
clamoring for it.
Yes, you will.
Yeah.
Frickin' yeah, an AGP would happily take your uterus. They would also
Yeah.
take your used tampons from the little tin thing in the bathroom stall.
Blech.
I
Blech.
know.
So gross. They probably would have thought my debacle this morning would be like sexy fun time.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. I can guarantee you there's nothing sexy about anything that happened this morning. So,
Yes. Yeah, great point, Tori. I hope this continues. Women are speaking out, and I'm loving it. I still don't love the way that looks.
I don't really like that one either. I think it looks weird. That
That's
one's better. I do like the big one, but when you're reading the article currently, it can get in the way.
yeah,
But I like the big one the best, I think.
yeah, me too.
It gives everybody more
Ooh.
of a voice. Ooh, oh, hot pink. Do you,
It's explore restream with RR and
do you,
EG time.
do you have chartreuse? Can you make it chartreuse?
Chartreuse is like,
Isn't it like
it,
a greenish yellow color? I don't even know.
yes,
Oh, there we
or
go. Highlighter
yeah,
green.
perfect. Good times.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, we'll be
Hey,
chartreuse
there's
for a while.
nothing wrong with playing with the aesthetics. Okay.
Oh,
Aesthetics are important.
indeed.
They draw the eye.
Oh, Lily, poor Lily. Last month I woke up at 1:30 having blood through my shorts, so I stood at the sink scrubbing it out. I was smart though and slept on a
Lily,
towel.
you weren't here in the beginning, but I had an incident like that this morning.
Period horror stories time.
Yes. Yeah, I woke up too, except mine was at 3:30 and I ended up having to uh dash carefully to the bathroom and I did not have a towel on, so um yeah, it was bad.
Yep. I don't think I've had a period horror story in quite a while.
Well, I
I've been
haven't
pretty lucky,
this
knock
is
on
like
wood.
the first time in years, like literally years. Like this was really weird because I usually know, like I know what to expect. This last night though, it was like
Mm-hmm.
a whole other level. Like I don't know what was wrong,
Mm.
and the flow is just like out insane, like just out there. Because normally I'm pretty predictable. I know what to expect, but not last night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, Ice Goddess, me too. That was my life last night. The waddle to the bathroom,
Yep.
the
Yeah.
indignity of it, like, oh, and then having to like, okay, I'm gonna get really TMI and gross here, but
This
like,
is a safe space.
it's a safe
Women only.
space. Yes, except for John. He's probably lurking. I hope you enjoy my story. Anyway, like during my waddle to the bathroom, like obviously you drip blood everywhere. You like make a giant trail of blood, and I had to like throw myself in the bathtub and wash up. And then afterwards, I had to take the Clorox wipes and like make sure I clean up every spot of blood that I dripped everywhere, like a fucking horror movie.
Mm.
And by the time I was done doing that, I was really awake, so I wasn't going back to bed. And I'm like, well, might as well have some coffee.
I might as
Some coffee.
This is killing
So
me.
yeah.
It's so annoying when you bleed off the side of the pad. So the thing isn't
Yes.
actually full. You just missed.
It missed. Yeah, because the
Oh my
center
god.
of the pad is pristine, like there's nothing on it. And then it bleeds off the side and your underwear gets ruined. Oh, so annoying.
Literally the worst. Ugh. Yeah.
Onikyo, the only blessing I can count is that it did not get on my sheets, thank God. I was able to like gingerly get
Yeah.
up, but when I stood up, that's when you know how you get that sinking feeling and then the blood starts running down your legs?
Uh-huh.
That's what happened. And
You're
I was
like,
like, "Oh
hurry! Scoot, scoot,
shit."
scoot, scoot, scoot.
Ah! And of course it's 3:30. I'm trying not to like, you
The
know,
witching hour, man.
yeah, like well, there you go. That's when all the demons come out, right?
Exactly.
You know?
Oh man. But you know what my greatest fear is actually? Has not happened yet. I'm knocking on wood again. Um having one of these insane period nightmares while I'm at a dog sitting house.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I
Like,
can't even imagine. Like having to do what I did last night in a stranger's house would be like
yeah.
literal nightmare fuel.
Or like bleeding through onto their sheets or their mattress. Like
Oh,
I oh my god, it's my biggest fear.
the mortification.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm always super extra prepared.
Yes.
Sideways and somehow between my butt
Yes.
cheeks.
What is with that? Yeah, this is why
Yes.
I don't wear. I know some women swear about pads, and that's fine. I don't like them for this very reason. They always bunch up, they ride up, they get in cracks they shouldn't be in, and you miss off the side, and the wings stick to themselves, and it's just a huge hassle.
Yes.
Yeah, or what about when you're putting the pad on and somehow it sticks to itself and gets this big ass wrinkle in it
I
and
know.
you're like
Oh my god.
trying to flatten it out like god damn it.
Or
Urgh."
one of the wings gets stuck to the sticky
Yeah,
sticky side. And like you're like,
yes.
well, great, this whole thing is fucking useless now.
Just throw it away.
Oh,
No, these pads don't grow on trees, okay? They're fucking
freaking
expensive.
pink tax. Oh my god. Fax machine,
Yeah.
actually. I'd be sleeping on puppy pads. But low key, not no. It's a potential
Yeah.
solution.
Yeah. That's the thing. Like
Oh,
it's never the odds are never zero. So,
uh-huh.
Yeah.
Dragon Fox. The watchers are going up. Hmm.
All John's friends are coming over. They're like, "Oh,
Ah.
well, they're talking about periods now." Oh,
Oh my god, I love all of you. This is so funny. Uh,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, enlightened female. I used cotton pads for a few months and loved it, but I hated scrubbing blood out of them. They don't bunch, but they take so much effort. Yeah, I mean, most of them
Yeah.
are machine washable, which is good. But
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah, I use like the industrial giant fucking cardboard cotton
yes.
tampons, not the pearl easy glide. Like, no, give me grandma's tampons. I need the big ones. Just gonna shove that shit up there. Stay.
Oh, oh my god. You know what also is the worst is like, oh, nothing. Nothing pisses me off more when I like go to change my tampon and it's like pretty much dry coming out, which is a
Oh, the
nightmare.
dryness.
But
Yeah.
also I'm like, what the fuck? Like there is no blood on this. And
Oh,
then two
yep.
seconds later, it's fucking Mount Vesuvius out here
Yep.
gushing. And I'm like, where were you the entire time the freaking tampon was in?
Oh my, that was last month for me.
Uh,
I took it out. I call that the ghost blood because I know
yeah,
it's not
literally.
come. Like
It's
I'm
like just
like, okay.
hiding up there.
Yeah, so I took it out. It was, it was white and pristine and everything. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna give my poor hoo-ha a break and
Yeah.
not put another one in and just like wait. And then of course, then you get like the blood, if you're not careful, you get the blood on your underwear and you're like, God damn it. It was
Yes.
so clean. Like it came out clean. Everything was fine. I was thinking maybe I didn't have to put another one in, but I was wrong. It just hides up
Uh,
there.
yes. Amazing.
Yeah, I've heard. Okay, so Enlightened Female mentions the disc in the cup. I Women have told me to use the cup, but the thought of it, the mess and the hassle, like, do you have to dig up there and get it?
Yes.
Like, and then when you pull it out, is it like blood gushes on your hands?
No, because it's
Oh,
all collected in the cup. So like you just
okay.
ease it out and keep it upright and then whatever.
Because, like, yeah.
But
I'm
I
already digging up there to, like, get the tampon. That's not the issue.
going for a dig.
But,
Um,
like
yeah, I have tried 3 different brands of menstrual cup, and all of
mm,
them, like, my body is not having it. I wish I could be a menstrual cup girly, but it's just not for me.
yeah.
I've tried 3 different brands.
And I might be ignorant here, but because I've obviously never used one, but I'm also thinking of the logistics, like, so when nothing's in your vagina, it is not an open hole.
Right.
It's like an envelope, right?
Yeah.
So when you put the cup there, is it firm? Like, does it stay open to
Yes.
collect?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so, like,
Because I
you
thought they were
can
soft, like soft rubber.
they're malleable for sure, because you do have to fold them up to get them in. And then you get them in and you can give it a little twist and it will pop open inside of you.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'd rather just shove the grandma tampons up there. I don't,
Yeah, I have tried 3 different kinds and it just is not it never ever worked out for me. So yeah,
yeah,
I'm a primarily a tampon girly too.
yeah, me too.
Yeah. Well, this is a great question, Mariama. What if it gets stuck? I have heard
Yeah,
horror stories of, like, because it opens inside of you and seals, right?
yeah. What if the suction goes wrong and it doesn't come
So
out?
what you're supposed to do is put your finger up and push down on the side to break the seal and then pull
Mm-hmm.
it out. But I have heard some women have tried to just, like, pull and it's like, ugh, ugh,
Ooh, ouch.
you cannot do that.
No, I've had a tampon get stuck before. That has happened
Yeah.
to me. Yep, yep. Up way up there, and I had to I had to dig around for it. It's a good thing I'm not squeamish.
Hmm.
Because once if the string goes up there, then yeah.
Oh God, fax machine. Mine pops open a few steps away from the bathroom, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
oh,
Don't you hate when you're sitting and then you get up and you feel the gush?
yes, oh for sure.
And
Or the sneeze gush.
oh yeah. And you know you're wearing something, but you know it's failed in that moment, and you
Uh
just pray you
huh.
can get to the bathroom in time. I
Oh,
swear to God.
yes. Too funny. Too
No,
funny.
ballistic, not the pliers. No.
What?
Oh,
Where's that
ballistic's
comment?
comment. It's ballistic.
Oh, geez. I got a
Yeah.
tampon string that got off once, and my Nigel had to fish it out of my hoo ha with pliers. Have mercy. Ugh!
Oh, so cold.
Also, how did you sterilize those? Oh my god.
Uh, well, maybe just wash them. I don't know.
Oh my
I guess,
god.
desperate times, you just got to get it out.
Indeed.
It's either dirty pliers or toxic shock syndrome.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Or what
Oof.
about those stories? Has it happened to any of the gals here? Have you forgotten a tampon inside of yourself?
I have.
Or,
That was the origin of the one that got stuck.
okay. Yeah, I've
Yep.
heard of of women, like, inserting another one, forgetting that
Uh-huh.
they already had one in.
Yep, that happened to me, and which is weird because I'm usually very aware of
Mm,
when I have one. I don't know if I was just extra tired that day, but the reason the string got lost up there is because I ended up putting another tampon, which shoved the string up. And
yeah.
then by the time I realized, that it was up there, I was like, oh shit. And I could barely get it. And I had to really like squat and get in there. And I could finally like get it, but I was like, am I gonna have to go to urgent care? Am I gonna have to go to the emergency room for this? Oh my God. I also lived alone. I lived
Oh
alone at the
no.
time. So here I am in my apartment, like in my shower, like trying to get this damn thing out all alone. I'm like, am I gonna have to call my mom? What am I gonna do?
Oh man. Brutal.
Yeah. Yeah. Grown ass woman who forgets she has a tampon and puts another one in there. I never made that mistake again.
No kidding. Ugh. My friend is back. Whoops, 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 whoops. Yeah, good times. Ugh. I'm actually due for my period very soon. Womp womp.
Oh, I'm
I'm
syncing
going
up. I'm a
house sitting
little,
on Friday, so I have to be
yeah,
prepared.
hopefully bring a lot of them. I'm a little
Mhm.
late this month. I usually get mine around the 10th. And yesterday was the first day. I think it's a very interesting case study, this John guy, because notice the male drive to keep coming back. Notice that.
Keep coming back.
He
Yep.
won't quit. That's innate. That's a guy thing. Okay.
Yes.
Usually when women are turned away or banned from a space, they're mortified and
Hmm.
generally don't keep trying. But
Imagine that.
our friend keeps trying, doesn't he?
Indeed.
Doesn't he?
Doesn't he? He.
He keeps trying to infiltrate.
Gross.
Interesting. I think it's a good case study. Observational.
Which one of us is going to set the group's period?
Now, don't
Sync
count
up.
on me. Apparently mine's unpredictable still, so who has the alpha period? Maybe you do, Radical, because mine was late and you said yours
Oh,
is starting any moment now or
yeah, any
next week or
day.
whatever. And so mine might be getting closer to yours slowly.
Oh my God, I got the power.
Alpha period power.
APP.
Hey, who got the APP?
Onikyo, I have beta period.
Yeah, me too. I have omega period.
Oh, mine's coming this week. Oh, well, yeah, but you take the pill, so that regulates
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
Whoops. Let's all decide a period date for this group. What day
Ev-
works best for
Everybody
you
put
all?
it in Outlook and send a notification. Sync it up.
Oh, that's so funny. Have you noticed your period is less painful over time? I can't relate.
Uh,
I am not to rub it in all of your faces, but I have been very blessed in my life, and I do not really deal with painful periods. My day one is always the most painful, and it's like, oh, I could probably take an Advil right now, but that's about it. I know, and I know I'm very lucky and blessed.
yeah. Yeah, I have to say that my periods are worse these days, but
Mm,
I've never been the type to have to like lie down or be in a lot of pain. Um, I have PCOS, and most of my
mm,
20s and 30s were spent like going months without one. Like they were
yeah.
very irregular. I never
Yep.
count on them. And then after I turned 40, they started to stabilize a bit. And then once I fixed my metabolism and put my PCOS into remission, they're regular now. Like they happen every month. They can be a little late or early, but they happen approximately around the same time every month. And I do have to say the cramps now are worse than what I experienced
Mm.
when I was younger, for sure. Like way worse, but still not as bad as some women. Like I know some women like they're out. They're like down for the count
Oh
for
yeah,
or
curled
two.
up and crying.
Right, right. Like it's not like that. It's the kind of cramps you have to be like, ooh,
Yeah.
ooh, okay, okay. I gotta let that pass. Ooh, you
Mm,
know, but it's not making me bedridden or anything like that. So I've also been really lucky in
yeah.
that regard, thankfully.
Ice Goddess's mom says flavored coffee gives her early periods.
Oh,
That's
what?
funny. I've definitely told this story before, but the COVID vaccine fixed my period.
Huh.
I had very irregular periods, and I've never been diagnosed, but I do suspect that I have PCOS, um,
Mm,
because of the irregularity and other symptoms as well.
yeah.
But when I got my first COVID shot, which was what were they? There was like Moderna, and then what was the other one? Pfizer.
Pfizer.
Yeah, I had the Pfizer one the first time. I'm gonna sneeze maybe. Uh.
Oh no.
But anyway, I had the Pfizer vaccine, and my period was not like due to come around.
Mm.
But within 2 days of that, I did get my period, and that was in 2021. And my period has been regular ever since.
Huh.
So I mean, I'm equating it to having to that, but maybe my body just did decide to get its shit together. I really have no idea, but
Could be like a total coincidence that just lines up.
yeah.
Or it could have something to do with it. Who knows?
But I've heard women report that the COVID vaccines did the opposite to them for their periods.
I've
So
heard
I
that
don't
too.
know.
Yeah. Yep.
Don't know.
Mine's age related. I feel like my PCOS was worse when I was younger, but
Mm,
now that I'm older, I think the testosterone levels that are, you know, that happen with PCOS, I think they went down just because of my age, and that probably helped. And then like, obviously the other stuff that made them even more regular, and now it's fine.
mm.
I drank like a whole pot of coffee today and I had Coke Zero. So,
Ugh, I love
because
coffee.
I need the caffeine so bad.
Ugh, I love coffee so much.
Me too.
Mm. My favorite, but I can't because I'll keep me awake, but I freaking love like at 9 or 10 p.m. coffee. It's like my favorite coffee of the
Oh,
day.
I used to do that all the time when I was younger. I used to make like a
Mhm.
night pot. Oh,
Yes.
yep.
Or
Yep.
when I used to work shift work, and
Yep.
when I would do a 3 to 11, I'd get home at like 11:30, 11:45, and I'd make
Yeah.
coffee. Oh, midnight coffee was the best. Mm.
Yeah. Oh, I remember like making a night pot of coffee, and there was this local college rock station that I used
Oh,
to listen
nice.
to like after midnight, and everybody else was sleeping because I also
Mhm.
worked a shift job, right? I closed, and I'd come home and my mom would be in bed. This I was really young at the time. I just stay up listening to the college rock radio and I don't know, reading books or whatever into the night, drinking coffee. Yeah.
Oh, the
I was a
best.
wild child, you know, just
Mhm.
just up drinking coffee all night, going to bed at like 4 in the morning.
Oh my god, I know. When I worked shift work, that was the best.
Yep,
Um, I despised the second shift, like 3 to 11 can
oh,
truly
the
kiss my
worst.
ass. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I did not mind overnights at all. 11
Yeah,
to
I'd
7.
rather work graveyard like any
Me
day
too.
than 3 to 11.
Me too. Me
Yep.
too.
3 to
Um,
11 just demolishes your whole day.
yeah. Oh yeah, completely. And also when I had that job, it was a short-term mental health facility. So like not like as intense as the psych ward, but like for people who like needed more than they were getting at home kind of thing. And
Mhm.
so on a night shift, it's quiet hours, everyone has to be in their rooms. So
Mm.
I would just be like in the office and we could bring our computers or our iPads or whatever the fuck. And so I would
Totally.
just spend 8 to or 7, my god, 11 to 7 watching Netflix or YouTube or doing whatever and drinking my coffee, and it was quiet and I didn't have to actually do any work because everyone was asleep. Oh, it was the best.
It's like the perfect shift for a college student
Yeah.
if you don't have early classes, right? So,
Yeah.
because you can
Y-
do your work in the quiet of the night.
Yeah, I actually had a couple at that job. I had a couple of coworkers who were students, and
Mhm.
some of them would work 11 to 7 and then go to their 8 to 10 class. And I was like, y'all are
Yeah,
brave.
well, I guess you're already up, right? If you can just make it
Yeah.
to 10, then you can, like, crash.
Yeah.
And I think, like, being 18 or 19, your body definitely does that better. That I can't do that now for sure.
Yes.
I'm old
I'm
now.
I am now this girly though, same as enlightened female. I prefer working early and going to
Mhm.
bed in the evening. I
Yeah.
actually so my job now, it's 8 to 4:15 Monday to Friday, but I actually asked my boss if I can work 7 to 3:15 because
Ooh.
I am just a morning person and like when I wake up just on my own at 5:45, I don't want to wait around till 8 o'clock to go to work.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
my boss was like, "Yeah, put in your 8 hours. I don't really care what configuration you do them in." It's like,
That's
"Fuck yeah,
great.
yep,
You get out early, and now that summertime's coming, that'll
uh-huh.
be, like, all the more daylight for you to enjoy.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep."
Yeah, I used to
Very
be a super night owl too, but I'm with you. I don't think I go to bed as early as you, but I'm usually
yeah,
I'm up between 6 and 7 every day. I get up, I have my coffee in the morning, I clock in at 8:30, but I work from home though. I know you said you don't like to wait around, but for
yeah.
me, it's like quiet reading time with coffee before I have to, like, clock in, and I love having that time, and then I work until 5, I clock out, I'm already home, so,
Nice,
yeah.
very good. Yeah, I'm a.
Radiated Yeah, a
I have
lot of
to be at
early
work at
birds, but
7.
a radiated
Aw,
woman says it's rough on her.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
I know. I don't know how old you are, a radiated woman, but when I was in my 20s, that would have killed me. Like, I could not make it for 7 AM. Like, it's a totally different scenario now because I'm old, so I could do it, but when I was in my 20s, that would have been the kiss of death. Like, I was definitely like a night owl, 2nd shift, 3rd shift type of person. That would have been my ideal
Yep.
job. Like, oh, imagine, like, getting up at 5 in the morning. Ugh,
Mm.
yeah. That's why the army was hard too because, like, you're up at 3 AM.
Oh my god.
Yeah, because you gotta do PT, so everybody gets up at 3.
Yuck.
Yep.
Yuck.
Yeah, 3 is too early, I don't care if you're a night owl or a morning person or what.
Yeah, way too early.
Yeah,
Way
that's
too
the night,
early.
okay? That is not morning.
Oh, Lily works 4:10s. That's not too bad, actually.
No,
I'd be fine with that.
yeah, me too. There was talk, I don't know how serious the talk was, but there was talk in the US about changing the work week to, like, 4 10s rather than 5 8s,
Yeah.
but, it wasn't very popular. I don't think people wanted to do it.
Hmm. But okay, this I'm a bit of a weirdo, but my dream 4:10s is Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, Friday.
You want that one day of the week to do your shit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
I would love that one midweek day off. That would be
Yeah.
nice. Actually, life hack. Um, I always get hassled by my boss to take my vacation hours because I never do.
Oh, you're one of those people.
Yeah, I know. I could just use vacation hours to take every Wednesday off.
You could, especially over the summertime, and you should.
Oh, what a life hack, actually.
Yeah.
Maybe I should do that. Oh my
You need
God.
to use it, right? Do you use it or lose it, or does it keep accruing?
Use it or lose it. You can
Well,
carry over 5 days worth of hours.
yeah, well, I bet you have a lot more than that.
Yeah. Oh,
I
I
know
do.
you
Yeah.
do because you're one of those people who don't take vacation, so I know you've probably
No.
accrued a buttload of them.
But
So
I am taking a week in January because I'm going to my cousin's wedding.
oh, that's right. Yes. But that's still only 1 week, so you
I
gotta
know.
burn through it. Take the Wednesdays. Have a
I should.
summer of Wednesdays. It'll be amazing.
I should actually. And then,
Yeah.
hmm,
Get your time off to, like, a more manageable level. I wouldn't go down to 0. That's just me, because you never
hmm,
know if you're gonna have to take, like, impromptu
of course,
time
yeah.
off. Yeah. You want a
Or I could take
buffer, but, like,
every other Wednesday.
yeah. I don't know how much you've got saved up, but if you've got, like, weeks saved up, you can definitely afford, like,
Yeah.
the Turpin's Data off Wednesday pipeline.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I have cracked the code, I think.
Yeah, you should seriously consider it.
I should.
I think you'd be happy as a clam
Me
having
too.
some Wednesdays off.
Enlightened female calling me out about my vacation plan.
Listen, okay? Okay, I am with Radical here because you have to plan for this shit.
Yes.
It is 10 months away, but that's all the more reason to make sure that time's blocked off, especially for a wedding. Because my brother got married in last May, and you better believe I had that time marked off 10 months in advance for goddamn sure. Like,
Yeah.
I made sure. Yeah. You don't want to mess that up. Like,
The thing
got to
that's
get
like,
blocked off. And then everything else. Hmm?
oops, oh, nothing. No, the thing that's hard for me is like, I'm
Oh,
not. Oh, can you not hear me?
your microphone's, yeah, it's bugging out again. It's doing that thing again.
Why? I give up. Um, is it okay?
It's still wonky.
Ugh,
Oh,
I'm sorry. I don't know
oh,
why
it's
I'm
better
not
now.
doing anything. But yeah, I'm not like
Oh,
a workaholic crazy person, but I am a person who like just really enjoys my job. So I don't feel motivated to take time off unless I have a reason to, like my cousin's wedding. But
yeah.
other like I'm just not the kind of person who can just like take days off to just be at home. Like what am I going to do? Like twiddle my thumbs? So that's what my problem is. And then my boss is always like, "You have got to use up these hours." Like, okay, sorry.
Yeah, well, okay, but yes, but what about having Wednesdays off appeals to you? What do you want to do on Wednesdays? There's
Well,
an
I don't
answer
know.
there, right?
Yeah, use it for errands and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
because
So
then I
that's
don't
what you
like.
would do.
Yeah, I don't like having to do it all on the weekend, and then you don't get to do anything fun on the weekend because you got shit to do.
Exactly.
But a midday
I don't
off.
Are you the type of person that I have fun running errands? I don't know if you're the same way.
I don't mind an errand.
I love it. I think it's fun. I'm like, I gotta go out and run errands. Bye.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Good times. Good.
Just makes me feel even older.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. Mhm.
I'm
Like,
tagging along
what's
with
your
my
idea of a
mom's
good time?
errands. Oh, what?
Yeah. Like, what's your idea of a good time? Well, well, going grocery shopping,
Yeah, I'm tagging along
going
to
into
my mom's
town.
errands tomorrow, and I have nothing to do.
What's
But
she doing?
mm, she wants to go to the mall because this one store that sells the leggings she really likes is having a big sale. Um, and then she wants to
Ooh.
get some. Ooh, actually, it's gonna be a smelly trip because we're gonna go and smell candles and soaps because she needs
I
some
was
new
going
hand
to
soap.
ask if you were gonna go to Bath& and Body Works.
Yes, and smell all the
Yep.
things.
You're gonna be at the mall. Gotta smell. Go on the smell
Mhm.
tour.
Yep, exactly. So I'm gonna do that tomorrow. And then I dog sit Friday to Sunday. And that's it. That's my
Yeah.
week. Hmm.
Mhm.
What are you doing the rest of the week?
Indeed. It's just a normal week, just working
Yeah.
and then
Did you get your
doing
car back?
doing fuck all. Oh, yeah, I did, thankfully. I got it back, a week ago, I wanna
Oh, good.
say. Yeah,
Good.
thank goodness.
That's good. I'm glad to hear it.
Oh,
Is my microphone being bad again?
your microphone's still. Yes.
Okay, I think it's because I don't know. When I try to look at something in another tab quickly is when it seems to be occurring. So I guess maybe my
See,
bandwidth is bad.
it's punishing your ADD brain right now.
Yeah, literally. I have to close all of these
You're
tabs.
not allowed to look at other tabs.
No, apparently not. Apparently not. Well, yeah. Well, this has been fun.
Ooh, it
Thanks for
has.
joining us, everyone in the chat.
Yeah,
Thanks, EG.
been a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thank you for having me.
No, don't make fun of me, Lily. It's not my fault. It's so weird. I'm gonna have to go back and listen.
It did. It did kind of sound like that, but it was
Yeah.
also cutting out too. So
It's so annoying. I'm so sorry. Well, let's see. Today's Wednesday. I don't. Oh, I actually don't think I'll be able to stream on Friday or Saturday because I do have some shit I have to do. So might be just a one
All right.
stream week and then be back at it on Tuesday, probably.
Yeah, whatever. Hit
All
me up
right.
if you want me to attend. If it's
I
an in-law meeting,
always
I'll just
do.
attend remotely. I know
Yes.
you do. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Thanks, Enlightened Female. Thanks to all the gals. Thanks, Lee. Have a great evening. We'll be back. You know where to find us. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Same bat time, same bat channel.
exactly. All right.
Well,
Goodbye.
variable times. Okay.
Variable times, exactly.